Good morning, everybody. This is Momin at Momin's Art. Toronto weather is gloomy and overcast today, and a little bit rain. And we are in class number 6 of the summer session, the watercolor class number 6. And I plan to render some boats and a seascape today. Easy, very easy to render, very easy to manage, and I will show you how to plan your painting also. Basically, that is the most important part. Another important part of how you plan your painting before you paint anything, right? So a lot of people get confused, like they see a very beautiful scene and a very beautiful reference, and they start painting it without knowing that how much stuff in there and how much uh, uh, things are in there. So what they just start painting it because it looks very pretty and it looks very good. But the painting point of view, you need to simplify your reference. You have to go and make sure that whatever you're painting, you can handle it. You can sometimes things are not supposed to be in your painting. You need to delete something, you need to add something. So that kind of stuff you need to understand. Anybody try to start working on it. It's not just a watercolor. It's just any other medium. Are you working on it? You make sure that you are working on something that it looks good actually, not just too crowded, not too. I mean, simple is okay. I mean, like if you not too. Some people like their painting not too active, right? Which is fine. It's okay, right? So let me just go and tweak some stuff here because I see some of these. Okay. All right. Let's go and let me. Yeah. So I think everything is working fine. Let me just start the demo. First, I want to discuss few things, and then I will go and explain. I'm gonna do a small demo. So I want to bring this picture first, which I picked it up today. It's been taken by a friend of mine back home in Pakistan, Karachi, a beautiful coastal area, and you can see that nice sandy beaches. And let me just put it on quickly. So where is the picture? I need to see the picture, and I will show you how to render that type of here. So this is the scene we're gonna paint. It's very simple. I will explain the process how to render that type of reference that you. Let's say you have that reference and then you like to paint. You said I was there and it's my memory and I wanna put on a canvas or paper or whatever, right? So then you need to see that this reference is very simple. You can paint as is whatever is in there, but I would definitely change something in this reference. So let me just show you how to. Let me just make it smaller, and then we're gonna start. I will explain few things before we go and start painting this one, the reference. And let me just go back. Okay, so let's again let me explain my supplies quickly. Right now I'm using I'm gonna do a small demo of using a fine liner or gel pen or whatever you have. I'm going to do this demo if the time permits us, right? I'm going to do a small demo of this also. So I'm using the Fumi brushes, nice brushes, not very expensive, and it works really good. You can get that too, it's up to you. I use the Rosemary and Co brushes, Sable Blend. I'm gonna use the round. I think it's number 4, it's number 2 something. Some Chinese calligraphy brushes I use because it has a long handle and it works really good when you're working on the small stuff. Again, Rosemary and Co. Squirrel brush, mob brush. If you have a bigger painting, you can. You need to go bigger brushes, right? Now, but this brush is more than enough for number 10, a round brush. So if you have a small painting like this brush is more than enough for you to handle use that type of brushes, right? You don't want to use a big mob brush, which I will show you in a second. Let me see if I have another squirrel brush, which is again made by Rosemary and Co. So let me see if I can find it here. I got it, I think. Yeah. So this is another brush you can use, right? This is for bigger paper, right? You don't want to use these brushes for small painting. I mean, you can use it, not a problem, but it will be too much. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the side and maybe here so you can see what I'm doing. Let's do a small thing first. Let's get this out of here and so this is basically that's my sketchbook, right? You see that reference there, right? Now, if you want to go paint first, right, you need to restrict yourself within some kind of a uh, 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 like a small thumbnail, right? Small thumbnail, and then what you see here, I put the horizon line. That is the first step in the landscape painting. You don't want to go and create that mountain in the back, the boulders. This all you have to do just dissect or split your canvas or paper with the horizon line because we are in the landscape business, right? We're not working on a portrait or still. Even though if you're doing a still life, let's say you have some fruits or vegetables or something you want to draw, it's still you I would recommend make a small like a edge of the table where they're sitting. It give you a sense of like where they're sitting. They're not hanging in the air, right? Although when you put a casting shadow, it will explain that they're sitting on something, but soon I would put a little bit surface, just explain a little bit, like a table edge or something that where they're sitting on it. So that's how you work with the I mean, like, we're explaining the landscape, so I was just using the example. Okay. Now, you see the triangle here. There's a triangle. There's a triangle here. There's a triangle here. There's basically they're all triangle, right? Like there's a triangle here, and there's a small triangle here. So all triangle, triangle. You don't need to, work really hard to render that type of scene or. So I have. This is how I render my painting. So and then you go a little bit more. The form of the water. Just to make a little bit more line here. So you explain it, and you must understand a little bit about the perspective. If you don't know about the perspective, then you might have problem here doing, especially when things go far, and especially in a landscape when you're working on something that is far farther down, then the perspective involved, because there's some atmospheric perspective and there's some perspective, like the vanishing point perspective, right? So you put a, let's say the vanishing point is here, so everything will explode from here like that. So this is how you understand how this painting is look like if you put a vanishing point here. If you put a vanishing point here, then things will appear differently uh, to your eye or in your painting. So you must understand a little bit about the atmospheric perspective and the vanishing point, the single vanishing point, double vanishing point, right? So, but it's not too much here in this painting, but a little bit you can see still there's a little bit perspective here, right? So here, this is how you draw that type of painting. Now, addition to this, you can go and put a little small boat here, just energize your painting. If you don't want it, you don't need to put a boat or any complicated stuff in your painting. You just do keep it painting simple, and you don't want to go and put something in your painting like that. It's a little bit challenging because you have to have a good sense of drawing and sketching skills. If you don't have that, then even the simple form of the board it can be a challenge for you. So make sure that if you are integrating small stuff like this, there's some small objects, then you should understand how these things can be drawn, right? So if you want to put this boat here and you don't know how to put a boat, before you go and start the painting, I use the thumbnail. And if you're not sure, you said I'm not sure, then don't even put in a thumbnail. Just put it here on the side and practice, practice, practice. Some people work with number 8 or something, which not a very good idea to render that type of subject. All you need, if you are working on the board, let me just move here. So you need to put some kind of elliptical shape like that. You know that elliptical shape or ellipse, what do you call that? And then what do? You put a line here and then another line here, and there you go. That's simple form of how to render a board. Then you give a little bit shape, just go cut it out a little bit more, make a kind of a front and the end part, and put a mass here on the board. So a lot of people get confused. They think it's very difficult. It's like a portrait, like people get confused with the drawing a portrait. So you need to understand the big shape of the object or the subject you are planning to paint. So if you don't know the big shape, then it will be a challenge for you. So make sure you understand the big shape of the subject you try to paint, and then everything else has become very easy. You can draw anything you want if you know if you can draw the shape of certain things, and then you will be more than okay to make the proportion uh, correct. Like if you don't know how to work with the bigger shape, then you need to practice and try to get the bigger shape done first, and then you go. Let's say if you're working on the portrait, right? You go once you have the big shape, you said, okay, I'm good. It looked like a human face or something. You put a little neck here, then you work on the other stuff. Like you go and render the individual part like a painting, right? Like a landscape painting. So in landscape painting, let's say we are working on the seascape, right? So seascape requires a mountain, boulders, water, some water foam, some rocks here on the maybe a seagull here. That all that when you think about the seascape, that's what you come to your mind. Seagulls, right? And the boats, right? And then maybe a person working in this boat is standing here. So just it's so much stuff, right? It's just not one thing. But I'm talking about the basic stuff, like what you expecting from a painting that you are going to paint. So that's why I put in the description that you need to plan your painting. You can't just go and start working on something that you don't have a plan, right? Like, I mean, like out of 10 times, maybe 2 times you'll be successful. You get something out of it without knowing the composition was good. Everything was good, and it turns out good. It's not a, pro- it happens with people, right? But you should have some kind of a understanding or idea or vision or some plan in your mind that what are you going to do with this painting, right? Like the reference I have in front of me. And so same thing with this reference. I would go and get this small if you want to go put something in it. If you don't want to put something in it, you don't need to worry about it. Just keep it simple as possible. Put some seagulls, make a nice water, make these hills in the back, create some depth into your painting by working on a wet into wet. And then you create that water, right? The water may work on the wet into wet. It works really good, and then create some depth, so create some atmospheric perspective. So this is the simple way. As soon as you start integrating more stuff, then you have to have some kind of a idea like how to work with the small stuff, right? How to draw those small stuff. So okay, let me go and start the demo, and let me just go basically explain few more things. Let me get this Fumi. I never understand how to pronounce this. It says Fumui basically. Yeah, I think Fumui. So let me just go, and again I try to explain the graded wash and the very graded wash. So understand, in the watercolor it's not like acrylic and oil. So let's say this thumbnail here, right? You need to practice certain things in a watercolor. First, you need to understand what is the graded wash, right? First of all, I put my palette the other way around and it looks strange. I usually put other way is all the colors gone, and then I get confused. I said, "Where's my cadmium orange?" And everything is there. All I did, I just turned it around, like it. So the mixing pans are here. Although I have mixing pans here also, but the position changed and I confused me. I said, "What happening right here?" So see that you need to understand how to work with the graded wash. That will explain the soft edge, the hard edge, right? Like that. You rinse your brush, make sure that you are working with these towels or paper towels, whatever you have, and then you do the soft edge, which is the graded wash, hard edge, right? And basically there's three things in there: the graded wash, right? Soft edges and the hard edges. These are the things that you are learning from one exercise. One exercise will explain three things simultaneously, without knowing. Like here, see, I put a cadmium orange, very, very sharp, very condensed type, very less water, and then you can go and work way down, push this pigment, make sure if you need to, you clean your brush and bring this wash down and make it fade out. If you think it's not very graded wash, then you can push some pigment on the top, make this pigment go back. That's how you work when you are sometimes you working on the painting. And let's say if you put too much color, right? You put too much color here, and let me just put some color here. So I put too much color, right? What do? You clean your brush and make sure that just take it out, all the pigment out of your paper, like that. This is how you practice, practice, practice. Take it out, and then when it's go out, you can just take it. Or you can, the other way around is you can go and just pick it up from the paper towel, because it's still wet, right? And it will leave some impression, but most of the pigment along with the water will be gone out of your painting. That's how you edit your watercolor painting. You don't need to worry about quickly. If you can do this, will solve most of your problem. All right. So here another example I want to discuss quickly. I have a beautiful cadmium orange in my palette, some burnt sienna I squeezed last week. So see that this apple, I put it on the surface. So you need to work on the background. You need to keep this apple open, right? Like you don't want to paint on this apple. So this is called you keeping the basically it's a negative painting, I would say. And you want to paint on this apple. So you need to practice, practice, practice this to make sure that you have very good control on keeping the white of the paper. Basically, you're keeping the white of the paper, although it's an apple, but you are keeping the white of the paper. And if you are confused, you have a problem with it, then you need to practice. You need to practice and make sure that this done. You have very good understanding how to keep the white of the paper. So I can paint this later on. So let me just put one more some lilac here, tone down this on the cadmium orange and burnt sienna mix, and then what do? You wait until it's dry, because if I go, I can go if the my color bleed. It's okay. I am okay with the color bleeding, but you need to make sure that it's dry, right? Once it's dry, then you can go and work again with this object, and so you don't want to spill some colors into the other part of the painting. So here, see, down here is okay because it's a white, it's all white, so I'm not worried too much. But here I'm worried because I need to make sure that it won't spill. So if you go and you touch it and then see, look at this, all the red color will be gone into the cadmium orange mix. And then if you are a person who work very loose, that then it's okay. You know what, I do that too. I sometimes I don't care, like if the color bleeds, or it's all texture, right? It's all texture. And you don't, if you're not a person who's working very precise or very realistic type of work, then you need to worry about. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about. It's beautiful. And there you go. So this is how you render small watercolor, and make sure that you understand the graded wash, the hard edges, soft edges, and then you work on the certain thing that let's say, see that boat here. I have some, so I want to keep this seagull not painted over, right? Seagull. Then I'm going to keep the boat open because I want to work a little bit more, pay attention on this board, not working on the wet into wet. So I will go keep this boat open, and the figure also. I'm not going to work on the figure. At least the pelvis and the chest area and the neck, I mean the pelvis and chest area would be the most important. So unless you working on the dark color, if you give them a black, or you want to work the board to be a black board, then you don't need to worry about that. Or maybe a dark blue board. So then it's okay for you to paint over, because the light color you can paint dark color over the light color, but you cannot. I mean, in the watercolor acrylic you can do that, but watercolor, then you need a white opaque color, which is sometimes I use that too, right? I by mistake I delete something, then I go and take out my this white color. Let me grab a smaller brush because this brush is gonna take so much of my color, and which I don't want to do that. So here, see that white color, I will just do the demo here on the wash, right? So let's say I want to make a like a seagull or something, right? And I forgot, although see the wash is still wet, but it's a little bit dry, and I can get away with that. So there you go. I can work with this wash because you make sure that it's dry. Once it's dry, then you can draw something, like, because it worked like a paper. What it does basically, what happened, it worked like a tone paper. Like when you working on the tone paper, this is what it is basically. This will become a tone paper. Some people go buy the tone paper from the sketchbook. I mean, the tone paper sketchbooks from the stores. Basically, this is what it is. You tone the paper, and once it's dry, then you can work with the white, or like other color that you can put it on. But in watercolor, it doesn't look very good, because it then you better off working with the gouache, and that will be more opaque, because the watercolor is more transparent and more you know, like different chemistry of the pigment. So you have to follow what this medium offer. You can't just, I mean, like you can use the gouache on the mix with the watercolor, then it will be a mixed media. But if you strictly working on the watercolor, then try to keep some part of the watercolor. I mean, like I use the opaque white, which is not a good idea. Some people say you need to stay away from the white. They don't like the white color to be on their painting. So I'm okay with that. As long as my painting looks good, I would just use, if this looks good with my white color, I would use it, not a problem. Okay, so let's stop here. I hope you understand the simplify your sketch first, how you have to make sure you observe like what's in there, what type of shapes are in there. You draw the bigger shape and then you simplify in a smaller shape. If you want to integrate a smaller object like boat, seagulls, whatever, you need to practice separately, right? The seagulls, you need to go and draw a small seagull like that. You don't need to be very precise, just get some impression like a seagull is flying in the air, and that's it. That's all you need. Then you put another type of wings are going up, like down, like that, and then spread it, right? See that going away, going coming to you. So this is your practice to integrate all these small stuff into your painting. That's what it is basically. So if you are working on the landscape and a seascape, you must understand how to render all this. Okay, let's go do the demo because time is running out, and I don't want to just keep discussing. But these are the most important. I mean, the demo is, trust me, demo is not important, but the important part is the one that I explained already. So I'm going to put a line here. I'm gonna keep the basically what happened. The I'm gonna follow the reference line because there's a less sky and there's a more foreground and the midground. So I'm gonna keep the same thing, and I will keep these hills or boulders a little bit away from each other because this is kind of in one line. So I will keep this a little bit away, right? And this will bring it in the water, maybe here. So I'll keep, so horizon line is in the back, right? But I'll keep this hills separate. So I'm gonna bring some water behind that hill and keep this hill or mountain a little bit more kind of in the midground, right? This is the more atmospheric perspective, and that's it. And then you go do the water again, triangle, triangle, and the rectangle, and small triangles here, there with the mountain. So done, my sketch is done. I'm gonna grab this beautiful Fumi brush, the big, I think it's number 12 or something. It's gone. You can tell how much I use. So I will grab some French ultramarine for the sky. I have some color left in my palette, in my blue paint. So I will just go mix some beautiful. Now it's, you see this sky in this painting is very flat. It's no drama, nothing, no excitement. So if you want, you can create something in it, right? It's up to you. I put some Prussian blue, mix it up with the French ultramarine. I guess some gray color left over, and mix enough color that you can you don't want to run out the color. I see that how much. Let me just go bring the palette here. So see then how much water, I mean the color I mix. You don't want to be pick it up a little bit here, pick it up a little bit here, a little bit here. I see some artists even does that. They don't want to waste the paint. So it gets enough that you don't need to be run out, right? Like that's how you work on the certain thing. So once you run out and then you mix another, then you will change the consistency of the color. So here I will go make, I'll put some water. I'm not gonna work on the wet into wet. I'm gonna just put some water because I need a kind of a nice even wash. So although I have some color in my brush, right? I'll put some water and bring it down here, some clean water, just not going in a mountain because the mountains are more like a earthy color and the sky is like a more bluish color. So I don't want to mingle these because they're gonna it's gonna be a green color. So here, you know what? Let's grab some cobalt blue. I would just bring some cobalt blue, has more contrast as compared with the French ultramarine, and then I will put some Prussian blue in it, and then that's it. And there, you can go quickly. You don't need to, and be careful if you're going quickly. Then you need to understand that you don't want to go work on this. Put this wash in the in your in the mountains or here. I will put some dark value, some light. It's create uneven type of skies, not just one even wash, right? And I will bring introduce some kind of a little bit cadmium orange at the edge of this horizon line, a little bit, not too much. Here I can use this color, or you can grab some fresh cadmium orange and just put it here a little bit, here, there, and you can bring this down to the mountains also, because the mountains you're gonna go a little bit brownish, right? So here I will go put this quickly because we don't have a time, although it's not a very uh, challenging painting, but still you need some time to, you don't want to rush, because you rush then problem will coming, right? So keep it clean. See that I'm cleaning my brushes all the time. I clean my brush, and as soon as I think, okay, I need to change the the color, or I need some other color, then I quickly go and clean my brush with the fresh water, and then I come back here. Now, since I'm working on the brown color, I have a brown color in my palette, so I would go and render this shoreline also, right? Here, and at the edge I will go very dry brush mark because I need to create some foam in the water, right? So here let's leave some white marks if you can. That will help you to render, get some kind of a rocks or something. I'll show you how to create those. Okay, here, then grab some more color. If you now the at the edge, because if you are a person that you need more contrast in your painting, then you go grab some French ultramarine, right? Mix it up with the same color, right? And you can put it here at the edge, so it create more contrast in your painting. You don't want to go brown, 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 right? You get some French ultramarine. It's very transparent, and when you mix it up with the brown or yellow ochre, it turn into a very beautiful gray color. It's not gonna be like a green color or something. Just remember that you can get away with this beautiful French ultramarine with the just a little bit uh, grayish color, not those type of green color. If you use Prussian blue with the cadmium yellow or cadmium orange, then it will be a problem. Then it will turn into green color. So see, I'm just dropping a little bit here and there into these mountains and in the foreground. Let's get some depth out of it, and I will go create some little bit more edge here. They're kind of a die down here. So I have some cadmium orange and some gray mix from the previous class. So I'm using this from my palette, kind of cleaning my palette also, right? So here you can put some more. Now I'm gonna grab some sepia. I need some help from the sepia color, and you don't wanna use the sepia color straight on your painting because it's very intense color, and you don't want to go and create a problem for yourself, right? So here I would just drop a little bit here, there, right, where the light is less exposed to the light, these rocks and the boulders, whatever you call the mountains, and then I get some beautiful texture of these mountains, right? I will go and do some more after I finish, but for the time being, I'm just working on this. Get some cadmium orange, put some cadmium orange straight from the tube, create some dry brush marks, right? Vapor is drying. So if you need more contrast, more light into your painting, then you can go and put some more, like a straight from the your palette, not mixing up with the any other color. Straight, which I don't recommend, but you can use that here. uh, some sepia color, get this mountain separated, and where's the light? Like, I'm assuming the light is coming from the left side, so right. And now I'm gonna put some sepia color on the edge because I need some very dark type of marks here at the edge. So I will put. I'm working on a wet into wet. I'm not let this painting dry because I need a beautiful soft type of washes, right? So you have to do the same thing. If you have a challenge, you can practice separately that how to work on the wet into wet, right? Some cadmium orange, soon as you see sepia is taking over your painting and is too much, then you can just put a little bit cadmium orange on the side and it will become a nice beautiful dark like a burnt, I would say burnt umber or a raw umber, that type of color it will become. Now again, a little bit more dark color, just put a spots here and there, create some wet into wet, create some more like a uneven surface. Basically that's what we were doing, uneven surface. How to create the uneven surface, you should understand. If you have a problem explaining the uneven surfaces, then you need to practice separately on other paper or other painting or something, right? You need to practice to create those uneven surface. If you are challenging, we have challenge with the creating uneven surface, then you should go and work on this type of work technique, that how you create the uneven surface in your painting. Now I put some, so what I will do, I'm going to pick up some color, right, and pick up some color and create some more texture, more drama here, more excitement, right? So here I pick up some color. See that I picked it up and create some nice, very even light type of washes here at the edge of this water. You can do that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can. You don't need to do that. I'm just enjoying this painting, so you can pick up some color at the edge of these white, the black marks, right? So once you pick up this white, pick up some color at the edge of this black sepia color marks, then you creating a, basically again you creating a depth into your painting also. This is what happening right now. See that here mountain is here is blocking the light, so I kept it dark. Here is more exposed to the light, so I'm gonna go pick up some color and create more depth into the here. See, it's already light, so I'm not worried about too much, and I'm gonna leave this one alone here because it's a very uneven surface, right? So I'm gonna go random marks here, there, create more texture, more uneven surface here. If you don't like that, I would just go pick up some color, the sepia color, and although it's gonna go a little bit fade out after you dry, but if you think it's too much, then you can pick it up like I did. I have a kind of little bit. I said no, I want to go and take it out. I put too much. Okay, so I don't want to do too much, so this is it. Now this part is drying already, right? So what I will do, I did the wash on the sky, beautiful wash it, as you can see that it's coming along beautiful. Now I will go grab some Prussian. Actually, I will grab the previous mix of the blue and put some Prussian blue in it. Get some more, like that. Color of the water. And I'm going to keep my brush here and I will go drag my brush, drag it and create some dry brush marks, right? You don't want to create this and the water is turning here, right? So what do? You go and keep this brush mark aligned with this edge of this water, right? Here is okay because it's there in the farther in the atmospheric perspective, but soon as the water is get some water, right, and then you turning, so the water is turning and you don't want to go all the way here and leave some white spaces. See that I left some, I didn't touch it, it kind of a little bit surface here, and here I left some now I turn it, I turn my brush so it will be aligned with the shoreline with my perspective. So here I'm gonna get some beautiful dry brush marks, smooth it out, and there you go. So this is what it is basically. That's a little bit challenge here for you to understand, but once you practice, you get a beautiful those type of color. I mean that washes with you in your painting. If you think it's too much dry brush marks, you can just take it out. Don't need to keep it, but that foam I'll keep it. And a little bit lemon yellow, I will introduce a little bit lemon yellow because as you can see the water is some water is a little bit green, so I will just go grab some lemon yellow. I had some, and I will put some green color in the water also introduce without touching these dry brush marks. I just put a little bit here and there inside of the wash. So what happened, it create a beautiful like a change the consistency of the color, and it create a beautiful green type of water in the foreground. Here more, if you want to, you have problem going here and you are touching here something, then you go from here. So you need to work with your brush, right? How you stroke, how you align your stroke as painting evolve, right? If I go like this and then here there, then I'm creating a problem for myself, right? So see, I put a little bit water here and the wash was drying. Now I build up some texture here, which is not the best, right? But it's okay. I can go grab some Prussian blue and then I will put some Prussian blue and create some more dark type of water here. And make sure your brush is dry. If you're touching a wash which is premature, you make sure your brush is dry. So if you have a water in your brush, then you are creating a problem in your painting. So here I don't want to touch too much. If you see the problem in your painting and you think, okay, you know what, it's a problem, and just leave it. Leave it. Don't just bother too much. You say, okay, I'm going to come back and fix it. Some people, what happen, they just keep try to fix it at one place and it become a problem, right? And then it's very hard to fix these problems, and because you overwork painting. And so I'm gonna go grab this previous blue mix, and I will keep just touch it at the edge of these white marks, right? So I'm gonna create some volume, some depth into my painting. So here a little bit, here there. You don't need to do everything. Just create a little bit. Especially on the shoreline, you need to on this you need to create more, right? So it will, and some ripple with the dark, wet into wet. Again, you just go here. You don't want to mix too much color, otherwise the purpose will be lost, right? Then it will look like a gray painting. You don't want a gray painting. I don't want a gray painting. Now I'm gonna grab this kind of a muted brown color, like I have it previously in my palette, and then I'm gonna go put some against this white foam, because this casting some shadow also, but not too dark, right? You don't want to go too dark, otherwise it will be kind of a little bit problem, right? So you don't want to do too much. Just a little bit create, and then you do create some soft edge, right? You don't want to create the hard edge. Basically, that's a very good example of the graded wash. Basically, you creating a graded wash here at the edge, at the mark you made it for the creating a depth into the this wash, right? I'll grab some more brown color, a little bit more dark color, and I will put right on the edge because this surface is wet, so I don't need to make a graded wash. It will make the graded wash on its own, creating soft edges. So I'm not worried about that part. I did because there's some wet surface. So here, let's put it here. Now I will go put some water. I need some more contrast in my painting, right? So I will put some water. Although it is it is not totally dry yet, but I'm okay with that. Let's grab some more. Let's get some French ultramarine, and I will put some here, create some more beautiful marks here. You don't want to put the French ultramarine straight on your painting, because if you put it straight on your painting, then you will see a blue mark, which not very pleasant, right? You don't want to go. And here again, a little bit more dry brush type of mark, and you don't want to delete the layer which you started with, right? You want to keep the layer into your painting, otherwise the whole purpose will be lost, that working in the layers, right? Okay, so far so good, and we have a little bit time left, so let's go. And I'm gonna dry this painting. So see that white here, I will put some little bit dark mark here, dark mark here. So what happened, it creates some boulders or something, right? Initially I left some white patches on my painting, so now it's a good chance for me to get this done. And you can mix a cadmium yellow with the sepia or a little bit orange color, three colors mix, beautiful. It give you nice like a raw sienna type of color or yellow ochre. And I will go and create this as a boulder, because there's some beautiful, looks like it seems like a boulder, right? So I will create that into the shoreline also. Yeah, a little bit dark value at the edge here and there. There you go. That's, let's keep this space dark. Let me put some French ultramarine, very dry brush type of French ultramarine. Get some more dark, some more contrast in my painting. Anytime you go, see, I put a French ultramarine here at the edge. I'm making a tunnel. I'm making a tunnel. See that I did something wrong here. I got some colors. I put it, and this was wet too. So what happened? It went into the water, which you don't want to do that, right? But it's okay. Now, don't be panicked. If you see the color is leading into the other color, just leave it. You don't want to go panic and just leave it, and then later on you can fix the problem. So here, let's get some more dark. You don't want to put too dark, because otherwise it will be a. And let me glaze it with the cadmium orange, so it create a beautiful boulder type of look. I mean, not glazing, I just put some cadmium orange. Now you can put some more here, there. Let's get some more cadmium orange, muted with this previous mix of the some colors, and I will put some dry brush, something like create more texture, more drama to my that shore. You don't want to go too far. They just keep it here in the foreground. So if somebody look at your painting, he can see, you know, not here, right? It's okay. This is fine. This is perfect. This is okay. You don't want to touch this. The horizon line, the atmospheric perspective, all good. But you need to focus here, right? You need to go and work here so it can be seen, right? And you don't want to do too much. If you do too much, then it will be is showing right away, right? So you just keep the layer open, make sure the layers are open what you started with, and you keep building the layers upon layer, and create some more, you know, build, more beautiful type of layers. It's peeking from the back. That's the beauty of your painting. If you can handle that, that is the beauty of your painting, and uh, it works very good. Let me just go here. Let's put some dark mark here of the casting shadow of these mountain, and make it a little bit soft edge with the French ultramarine color. I put it, glaze it a little bit, right? And that's it. I don't want to go too much because now what you can, I put some sepia color because it's getting a little bit uh, uh, lighter. So as remember, the sepia color is a little bit challenging. It beautiful color, right? But the thing is, once you put too much, it doesn't dry as other colors are. So these colors are more harsher. If you put too much, and it will dry, and it will create a very not a very good dark mark on your painting. So here I will leave it here. Okay, so pretty much the painting is done. I'm going to use a dryer so we can do, if we want to or we have time, we can use some other stuff on the painting. Okay, let's dry the painting, especially the foreground basically. The foreground is the okay, that's enough. I think I don't want to go too much. Now, the see the patch here? I little bit color bleed, so I will go grab some white color, right? I'm gonna grab some white color, get some beautiful white color with my same brush, and then you put it a little bit, let, create the foam of the water right at the edge. So I was lucky because there was no foam at the edge of the water, so I create some foam a little bit at the edge, and I fix that problem. So now you can go, you can put some white here, just drag it with your finger if you want. I wouldn't recommend to do that, but it's up to you. Here, there you go. Some here, this is good. Actually, here is good. You don't want to use too much of a white color. If you use too much of a white color, then it will look not very good. So you want to be very controlled. You don't want to go too much white color in your painting and keep it very, control. So here, let's grab some, bring it down here a little bit more toward the shoreline, right? The water ripples coming. And since I have it on my brush, right, so I just want to show you what can be done. You can bring it in some water, right? Some little bit ripple. Let's put some more. There you go. Not too much because, like I said, the white color, it it works good, but not in a big quantity. So you want to keep it a little bit lighter. So here I'm going to grab the smallest brush, which is the Fu Mui, zero number, and I will grab some. Since we have 5 minutes, I'm going to go and maybe I'll put some birds here. If you are scared, some people think, oh, I'm going to ruin my painting if I put something. Then you say you go practice, right? Practice and try to draw on the side. So when you scared, trust me, you will most likely you will do painting, trouble your painting. So you don't want to do that. And here, put another bird here, more isolated from the hills and mountains, and that's it. And I will put one here. Let's put one here also. That's it. Let's zoom in, and if you want a board or something, you can do the board. Again, like I said, we don't have time. We already close to the finish the class, so you can do the board here. Although there's not enough space for the board, or you can put a figure here. Let me see if I can put a figure here. Let's see a person walking with the dog or something, right? Let's get this. Done French ultramarine, a little bit sepia, get a nice beautiful gray color, and then the pelvis, chest first, right? And then you go with the legs, and one leg keep it shorter so it feel like he's walking. Very simple type of you don't want to create too much detail here. Just get his head done. You don't need to make a neck or something. Just keep it separate. A little bit dark color, so we can get this little bit depth into his body, right? The other hand, if you want to put a like a dog or something, you can make a dog here, a little bit dog here. Just you don't need to explain too much, right? Just dog is walking with him a little bit here. I'll show you actually once the painting is finished. I will show you what it looks like. And then you do the rope, and that's it. So I'm assuming the light is coming from this side, right? So what we do, we're gonna go and create some. Let's get some cadmium orange and put it here on this. Oops, I just see that. That's okay. I mean, like if it is spilled, that's fine. I'm. It's a happy accident. I'm more than okay. So I'm gonna put a little bit orange, cadmium orange on this dog on the side, so I can get some control the light because it can be a black dog, is not a problem. But just since we are here and I have the colors, I have everything. Now I'm gonna mix a very pale type of yellow ochre or grayish color, and here you can put the shadow of these two objects, two subjects, or whatever you call. And you don't need to be very precise in the shadow either, right? They just get something that it shows that there's a light is coming from and if the light is on low on the horizon, then you will keep this shadow longer. If it is here, then you will keep the shadow shorter. That's how we know what's going on with the where the light is coming from exactly. Not exactly, but at least you get an idea that where the light is coming from. Let's put some more dark value here on this side of this person, so it create more light, more depth. And I will grab some more orange color, or if you want, I have a beautiful turquoise color, I think turquoise or something, and I will put some turquoise. I don't want to overwork this figure, so that's it. You don't. And if you want to create some reflection and something. Let's say if it is the surface is wet, you can go create this reflection. It works beautifully. It's like a wet sand or something, right? And here, let's put it here. Let's make the dog shadow like in the water, right? And the person is coming here all the way. I will. So sorry about that. I This is what happened. It feel like there's a water coming here, and then I will put some little bit more like a water type of mark. So sometimes high tide, some water left on the beach, and then that's how you create the reflection. Sorry about that. My throat is I didn't have my tea today, so creating a little bit throat issue, which is fine. So here you don't want to do too much, right? You go and grab some more dark color, and you create some more shadow of this figure, a little bit the dog here. There you go. I don't want to make it too dark because I'm assuming the puddle is here, right? And a little bit you can create some more, a little bit more like a watery type of look. And here, let's get some more very light, the Prussian blue and French ultramarine wash. So I'm using that to create that. And a little bit here also. Let's get this. Since we're working on it, so why not, create another painting within a painting. So here, get some more light color. There you go. So that's how you create a small type of like painting within a painting, basically. And that's what I call. But I overworked, to be honest with you. It's been overworked, so you don't want to go. Once you're enjoying something, you can overwork easily, or you made a mistake and then you panicking, then you can overwork. So you don't want to go. Just leave the painting and walk away, because soon as you see you are involved too much, which is fine. It's good, right? Like you working, you practicing, but soon as you see it's too much and it's getting a little bit out of control, so you want to walk away. You want to walk away and get this painting dry and see what happened, right? Like if you think, okay, I still need to work more, and then you can work more, right? But at one go, I would just recommend. Let me just move this my palette out of here, and then we can reveal that painting in a closer look. Let's get these brushes off. I didn't get a chance to use the gel pen demo. I will do it next week. All right, let's get the zoom in. Let's get the painting review. I'm gonna go the smaller part of the painting, like see the figure, and here. So that's how this I render. Very loose, very loose type. Not Let me just go here. There you go. Let me just here. All right, here. Okay. So whoop, here. There you go. Sorry about that. So this is how you work in the smaller subject. You can render, energize your painting, and it create more drama, more excitement to your painting. There you go. Let me just remove the what do you call the reference, and I keep the picture, the painting on the. Here you go. Let's zoom in a little bit more so it'll be here. Zoom in a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. There you go. That's it. So this is the painting basically. You can paint a very simple landscape. If you wanna get some objects into the painting, you make sure you know how to draw, how the reflection work, how to create the depth into these boulders and rocks and some stuff on the beach also, how to create soft washes, how to bring the contrast in your painting. If you don't see contrast, then you can bring some contrast, how to work with the dry brush mark, create some ripples and all this stuff in the water. All right, so I will wrap it up, and thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe the channel, like the video, and share the video. That is the most important. Someone shared the video like 2 weeks ago, and it just yeah, it brings so many subscribers. So please share the video, and within your circle, whoever wants to learn watercolor and anything about the art, please let them join the channel. It helped me and it helps the channel. It helps everybody, so we can have a the classes are going. So okay, I will go. I will close the class, and then thank you so much, and happy whoever in Canada, happy long weekend. We have a civic holiday here on Monday, so happy long weekend and enjoy your rest of the weekend. I'll see you next week. Thank you.